Brightness and contrast controls in Video Barbershop. So the third button here is what affects some other controls that you're going to want to fix the visual quality of your videos. Now, previous videos I talked about luminance, and again, luminance takes your color data and remaps it. It scales it to fit a larger range than the compression that may exist. In doing so, you will lighten up the video, as you can see. But keep in mind that is a remapping of the data that expands it out and stretches it out, almost like if you map this on, silly putty and stretch it out to fill the entire space. It's a little different than brightness control. Now, what brightness control does is it actually takes the RGB values here and shifts everything over, as opposed to expanding it out like the luminance does. And it has a different effect. And I'm going to switch to frame so you can see the change as I do it live. So the bulk of the values of this image are kind of on this lower end. Now if I start to shift this over, and you can see as I move this along, it updates it. It shifts the data itself and increases the pixel data off towards the lighter end, the 255 range of the pixel data, which has the effect of washing everything out in kind of a general fog and haze as everything shifts over into the white. Now I do the same thing with the black, and everything gets much darker and shifts into the black ranges, which, depending on the video you have, could be good because, starting out with a VHS tape, it could be a little foggy and a little washed out. So maybe you do want to drop this down a little bit and kind of get rid of some of that haze and bring the black levels up a little bit. I find that knocking this down a couple points, even hundredths of a point, even negative 0.01, has a noticeable effect on many videos that I've converted from old VHS tapes that have degraded. So it's something to be aware of. Now, as I'm changing this, you see that this isn't really changing, and that is a bug that we can see here. It only changes when I actually move the cursor. It would be ideal if it changed while I was actually affecting this without you needing to move the cursor around, which is a good time to bring up the fact that this is in beta and you might find some bugs. Please do let me know. Through Apple's test flight system, you can open up test flight and send me messages and send me feedback. You can send me screenshots, and so I can see exactly what you're looking at. It talks about, the test flight app actually says Shift Command 4 allows you to take a screenshot of any specific area, and I highly encourage you to do that. I thank you for downloading the beta and giving this a test run and helping me find these bugs. It's incredibly valuable to me, really is. So getting back to this, so do be aware of what's happening here with the brightness, and you will see it in the histogram here. Again, video wide, no matter what you change or do, this isn't changing. This is for the whole video. It's a collection of data points across your video. It's not the entire video. It's just a random selection of certain frames to give you a good idea. By frame is this frame, and as you change this frame, you will see the effect, and you can note the differences. Now again, reset, like many of the controls here, the reset button allows you to snap everything back to its default values. Now contrast may be something of use, and I'm just going to do some extreme cases here, you can kind of see what it does here, and it does a very similar thing. It's like the opposite of brightness if you if you go to the extremes here. A lot of these controls, you may be familiar with them in Photoshop and in other types of apps that allow you to do this. Saturation is one that I've specifically found very helpful and useful on a lot of these faded VHS tapes to get the colors to pop more instead of being so washed out. You may want to increase the saturation and get some more realistic color tones and the colors to really pop a little bit more. And you can see the original tape is pretty washed out, but adjusting the saturation is extremely helpful. Gamma also adjusts the color data, and you can play with that and kind of get rid of that haze that you might see in degraded VHS tapes. Something you just kind of have to play with it. Every tape you may be converting may have a slight difference to them, and that looks nice. It's a little greener and less washed out like that, as certainly brings some life into this old clip. So again, these top row of buttons affect the video, and so all of these changes I've made as I make clips of here, you'll see every one of these clips will take on that video effect. But let's say I don't like it. Let's say it's like, ooh, that was a little extreme for here. You can make clips of each of the transitions. Even if you're taking a commercial here, you can take this, this transition here and say, oh, I want to revert that back to its original. You can override what you had done. You can revert it back, and then you can kind of tweak it to your heart's content until you get something that you like a little bit more. Maybe this one does need a little help to kind of bring it into, I'm just going to do extreme, like video art kind of style, but whatever effect you're trying to go for, you can focus on your individual clips, or like I said, these top row of buttons affect the video no matter when you clip them. Even after I've made this change, I can go in and clip a new clip and come in here and adjust this down, and you can see every one of these clips are now that base adjustment I've made. And you have to be very careful about it, except for this one was override. Of course, I override it with a very similar kind of quality, so it's not even that noticeable. There we go. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Again, video wide, no matter when you create a clip out of the video, it's the original video feed, if you will, is adjusted for all clips, and then specifically you can override the clip and make your adjustments. Again, there's some helpful information in every section, and I try to give a little pro tip here to help with specific cases, many oftentimes VHS related, converting them. But again, thank you so much for looking into this program. I've been working on it very passionately, and I'm very proud of it, and I really appreciate you downloading the beta, giving it a try, editing some videos, and sending me feedback, so that by the time this actually does ship and go live in Apple's App Store, it's even that much better. Thank you very much.